the past month, because, you know, he was going to come in and see our routines and all that. It was going to be cool. So I had to practice this routine for about a month, you know, trying to perfect it. And see, what I wasn't informed about was the fact that this dude is about 7'5", and he's got the deepest voice I've ever heard. So, you know, he's exactly what you would expect from the drill sergeant. He could eat us. Like, we would literally get eaten by him. So, imagine trying to perform a routine in front of that. You know, that's the situation. So, I started, and we're doing good, till one of the kids in my color party drops the flag. Yeah. They dropped the flag in front of the drill instructor's scary, tall guy. Yeah. So, you know, that just ruins my hope and dreams, because I was going to go to Army. But now my CEO just saw me make a fool of myself, you know, on some easy routine that took me a month to perfect, and we still failed. Like, I could have been a color party commander in Army, you never knew. But, you know, that chance was lost. So, yeah, there's no more of that story. It's just make sure you got people that aren't going to drop flags and ruin your dream. That's about it. Schmerich, what do you got?
I got a lot, but there's this one. So we have these drill competitions for honor guard, which is drill teams.
Yep.
And so we were on our way back. We stopped at an IHOP, and it was me and a few of my friends. One of my friends went to the bathroom. First off, they got lost going to the bathroom, so that wasn't a good start. And then my friend came back and said, next person to go to that bathroom, there's going to be a crap load of glitter all over there. We just died on the spot, because glitter all over the bathroom. And then, so this is when Visco Girls was just starting, and so I made a joke, because I took like everybody's straws and put them in my cup, and so I made a joke, kill the turtles, tisk, 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 and just took a big sip from all the straws. And then, as we were proceeding to drive back to the school, me and a couple other friends, started making a joke, where it's like one person will say, "You touch my tra-la-la," and then the next other person will say, "My ding ding dong," and we just started recording it in different like voices and stuff for like the entire ride home.
Okay.
I think I made a TikTok out of it too.
Oh, you do TikTok, really?
Yeah.
And you want to shout out your TikTok?
Yeah, hold up. Let me pull up my TikTok so I can. I don't remember by the back of my hand.
Do y'all have mess dinners in ROTC?
But, not really. We have military ball though.
Yeah, that's like.
All right, my
mess dinner.
TikToks. My TikTok's at Smurf0321.
Okay, there it is. If you have TikTok, go follow him. Follow the man. I got another story from my mess dinner. It was this year, and there was a table for the seniors, and I was friends with fellow seniors, so I got stuck with the low ranking, and that just kind of sucked. But the low ranking table, they weren't really following the standards, what we were supposed to be doing. You know, there's one kid on his phone, the other kid with his foot up on the table. It's supposed to be formal and good, and we don't really get, or one person doesn't really get punished. Their whole team or squad gets punished. So, for about every person that did something wrong, would have to do 10 push-ups, but not just them, everyone at the table. So I'd do about 100 push-ups, and I'm not the best in fitness. They didn't force us, but they're like, hey, you better do it. So I just did it. And that sucked. Next year is kind of funny. We had a brother and a sister fighting. One was in cadets and then one was, I don't even know. They were like fighting, so as a joke, I'm like, fight, fight, fight. And then the kid next to me is like, fight, fight, fight. And then the kids around him, fight, fight, fight. And before you know it, 7 tables are chanting fight. And I start getting yelled at, and like, I just didn't know what to do at that point. And what I also didn't know was that I was gonna get promoted that night. So I almost lost a promotion for like a little joke that got taken way too far. So that would have sucked. I mean, both mess dinners weren't the best. We had a kid try and stab another kid there with like a plastic knife. It was funny. Or no, he pulled out like 7 plastic knives. It was interesting. Smerrick, what else you got?
Let me think. There was this time where we were at undergrad practice for Saber Team. And if you don't know what Saber Team is, it's a group of, I believe, 8 people who do little sendaways for veterans to go to DC. And so we were at practice for Saber Team one time, and we had to keep our military bearing, right? And so we just had one person keep walking between us and making the dumbest faces, trying to make us laugh so that we could get better at trying to keep our bearing. And so one of my friends there decided to take plastic solo cups, put them on his hands, and just clap them together in our face. And then one time he took somebody's saber out of their hand, and they had to continue through the motions without their saber. And he just took it and kind of held it right where his ding-a-ling-ling would be, and just kept going around with the sword.
Yeah, you got some questionable friends.
Yeah, definitely questionable.
I got another funny story. I mean, this will spoil it, but I made another video. It's called My Range Training Cadets. If you haven't seen that, go click off. This might spoil it. So basically, when I was in my range training, I dropped my rifle and then pointed at myself accidentally. I mean, that CO was gone, but let's just say I didn't get the best reputation from that CO. And then a few weeks after that, we had to do a first aid course, or no, it was a first aid team training to see if we were going to get on the team or not. And again, we don't get, punished individually. We get punished as a team. So we had to do like some first aid thing. Some guy got stabbed, or I don't even remember the scene. But there was blood everywhere. It was nasty. Some kid took control. I was getting 911. And we had a first aid kit out. It was all going good until we lift him up and there was just fake blood everywhere. Or not lift him up, but we move his shirt and there's fake blood everywhere. So at this point, we didn't really know what to do because we couldn't tell if the injury we thought he had was the only injury. So of course the kid next to me goes, "Okay, so Stone, it doesn't look good, especially in a training that could get you on a team. It's not a good look."
Yeah, no.
So let's just say I didn't make it onto the first aid team. Not much of a surprise, but
Yeah, no. That's never had that happen to me before.
yeah. You got any stories about your range training, first aid training, anything like that?
We don't have anything like that.
Oh, you don't?
No, I really wish we had stuff like that, but it kind of doesn't fit in my school's budget.
We had to do this recruitment thing and stand inside of a mall, waving posters around, showing that we can tie knots. Woohoo, so impressive. And basically, we got bored and had about 100 ropes. So we tied them all together and then put, like, for some weird reason, we tried to stretch it across the whole, like, I don't know, large hallway of the mall. And someone fell. Like, surprise, surprise, that's not a good idea. Someone fell, and, like, now that I think about it, our court could have gotten sued. Like, it could have been very bad. But lucky enough, they didn't get paralyzed. So, yeah, it's just a little funny story. Smerrick, you got any other stories?
I don't have any other stories. I know my friends have tons of stories.
I mean, some weird stuff goes on in Cadets. Actually, at our mess dinner, the same one I was chanting fight at, we got a dessert. Like, the meals are pretty darn decent at our mess dinners. Like, we got pasta the one year. I don't even know what we got that year, but, like, pasta's good for in Cadets, and that's a good meal. Because other than MREs, you gotta get used to MREs. You don't usually get an actual cook right off the stove. No, you don't get that. That's just not how it works. You might get a bag of Lay's that costs you $2 for 50% air and 1%, I don't even know, 1% chips, the rest just also air. So you get about 99% air in the Lay's chips and 1% chips. Yeah. So yeah, it was overpriced, and well, we were enjoying it. And for dessert, we got dessert. Yes, I don't know, but we got dessert, and we got this ice cream. You get to make your own sundae, I guess. There's a bunch of toppings, but this wasn't like the good ice cream, because I don't know about you, but feeding a bunch of hungry kids is like the one time we went on a trip for Cadets, and the McDonald's bill was over $500. So, just to give you an idea. And it wasn't the good ice cream that tastes good. It was the cheap ice cream that will make you sick, and we didn't really know that.
Cheap, nasty ice cream.
Yeah, it was the ice cream that was practically like the one you take a spoon and smush around and it becomes whipped cream. That's the one. And that's exactly what we did. It was whipped cream, sprinkles, chocolate sauce, and caramel. So, also, to our surprise, for some reason, kids started throwing up. There's about 40 kids out of 60 throwing up everywhere. The one kid's, like, trying to call his parents, starts having a stroke on the floor. Like, it was interesting. I was one of the few people that didn't throw up. My friend, he threw up about 6 times in the toilet. Mess dinners aren't very good. I mean, the food's good, but everything else about them sucks. And then our CO used to, I mean, she's gone now, but our CO used to, like, because you can't eat until the CO takes a bite of their food. And she used to straight up taunt us. She's like, pick it up, examine it, your food, put it back down, pick it up, go to take a bite, cancel out of that, put it back down. Like, for 5 minutes, that's what she would do every year. So, yeah, it sucked. It wasn't the best. You can't even put your elbows on the table. I mean, it makes sense, but who doesn't? Like, you just be comfortable while you're eating. Why not?
Yeah. With military bowls for ROTC, the food we get is pretty good because we have an airfield Air Force base near us, which is turning to a Space Force base now.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
So
you're Air Force. Of course you get good food.
Yeah, like I've heard stories from my brother-in-law who's a Marine, and he's said that he's been on Air Force Base, and they don't even have to like take care of the trays. They just leave it on the tables, and somebody comes and picks it all up.
Hold up.
Yeah. 90% of their basic training is in a classroom. They don't do rifles until week 7, and they're only there for like I think 8 weeks or something like that.
But what pilot really needs to use a rifle? Let's be honest here. Because not many pilots really carry around their M4A1 and their F-35 if it crashes. Like, no.
Yeah, but they still have small SMGs and pistols.
Everyone I know, no one's in the Army. Everyone I know is in Air Force, ROTC, and Cadets. Like, why? I think Moore was the only person in Marines.
That's more common. I'd love to be in Marine ROTC. Like, I kid you not, I'd love to be in that.
Why is
Because I'm a jarhead at heart.
I'm a puddle pirate. I'm gonna transfer to
doubt
Army.
about it. I'm going, and I've been talking to the Marine recruiter for about a few months now. And
I mean, my Army cadet, or the Army cadet CEO that I was messed up in front of, we're chill now. Like, I talked to him. He says he might have a chance for me to become a color party commander inside Army, because he knows I am going to transfer to it, so I think I'm okay. But, like, still, it's kind of embarrassing. And then, he was in the actual Army, and my CO showed me a video of him in his BCT, and he's doing the monkey bars, but he's so tall, like, his feet are straight up just touching the ground, like, he's walking with his feet on the floor doing the monkey bars. That's how tall this guy is. And those monkey bars are not low. They are not any low monkey bars. They are very tall. Okay, not very tall, but they're pretty darn tall. And this guy's just walking.
They're pretty fucking tall.
So, yeah, it's kind of intimidating when you got a guy in a beret that's a major standing in front of you at 30 feet tall, towering over you. It's gonna devour your soul with his eyes. That's what I saw.
Oh, there's this ongoing joke with my aerospace science instructor, not the senior one, my master sergeant. She was an actual master sergeant in the Air Force, and then I have my colonel, who's an actual colonel in the Air Force.
Oh yeah.
But with Master Sergeant, she always makes this joke. I'm gonna throw a shoe at you if you don't stop. Like almost every week she says it. There was a few people that she actually has thrown shoes at. That one of them I was friends with. And I kid you not, there's this kid in ROTC now, and he's dumber than dumb. Like he's a blonde at heart, but he's redhead.
Oh yeah.
That's not the best combination either. He's also on the wrestling team, which isn't great because he doesn't know what he's doing there. So, but one of these days, I kid you not, he's gonna have a shoe thrown right at his head. I'm just waiting for the day for that to happen.
When we went on my first cadet trip, I'm not gonna reveal where it is because it will tell everyone my location, but it was decently far. We took a coach bus. It was chill. My friend said he was gonna set up a hotspot, but he never did. So we didn't have Wi-Fi. I didn't even bring my phone, so I just sat there with a Rubik's Cube watching the weird movie they put on. And when we got there, we got to sleep in a university, and the dorm rooms are pretty nice there. It was solid. Went to the cafeteria every day. I was liking it. And there was a few remotes that didn't work. Like, we actually got TVs in every dorm. That is amazing. And there was a few remotes that are a very small amount of remotes that didn't work. So if you wanted to watch a movie, you would have to get your buddy next door, because they were attached, they shared a bathroom. And so I got one with my friend. And you have to get him to turn on the TV for you. But if you want to turn your TV off and your buddy's already sleeping, you can't really. Unless you want to break into his dorm room. That happened to me one night. And then the other night, we were really bored. So about 14 of us, 14 boys, all crowded up into the highest ranking, the coxswain, his room. And we went to his dorm room. All went into one room. My friend, he had a Bluetooth water bottle to use as a speaker. My other friend had data, so he went on Netflix, set up Stranger Things, connected it to the Bluetooth water bottle, and some other kid brought Pringles. So we were just sitting in his room, 14 of us watching one small phone screen with a Bluetooth water bottle speaker, eating Pringles. It was a good time. And then all the officers, they never went to bed. Like, they just straight up talked for 24 hours. And they were very loud. You would hear them from no matter where you were. We always got locked out of our rooms, too. They never gave us a key or anything. So you just kind of sit there. Or you get your friend to let you in. I had to do that a few times. But it was interesting. I mean, it was a good trip. We went to tour a penitentiary there. Got some ice cream. Watched a 1812 reenactment. It was nice. Actually, we watched a GT graduation for the Sea Cadets. And that was cool. Saw the boats. We saw a officer cadet there that was trying to be an officer, which is now my CO. He was in GT then. So, yeah.
Redhead that has the mind of a blonde. This one time he looked right at me and said, "I wear my uniform better than you." I looked at him and I turned from regular human being to drill sergeant mode because we were wearing our uniforms that day, right?
Mhm.
His hair was wrong. His facial hair was out of rag. His collar was off. His tie was stained. His shirt was stained. His ribbons were off. His name tag was off. His shirt wasn't tucked in enough. His belt was off. His belt was messed up. His pants were stained. His pants were too low. His pants were too long as well. His shoes weren't shiny enough, and his shoes were dirty.
I don't polish my boots. I just don't.
Well, we don't get. We call pre-shined shoes core frames because that's what they are. They're fake shoes. We have to shine ours.
Yeah, we
actually have to put work into them. It takes about an hour for the first time to shine them to get it.
I use spray on shine.
A good enough shine.
It's cheating. But, like,
there was this one time I used olive oil to shine my shoes.
My friend said if you use the oven, you can shine your shoes.
But no, I picked up every single wrong with this dude. What?
My friend said if you use the oven, it like permanently shines your shoes. I didn't really want to try it because I don't know how you explain to your CO how you got toasted shoes. Like, hey, CO, my shoes are now a toasted piece of bread. Well, how did that happen, Private? I put them in the oven. Why on earth would you put them in the oven, Private? My friend said it was a good idea, but it doesn't really end well.
One of my friends left their shoes out in the sun for too long.
Oh yeah, that sucks. Do y'all have GT and all that?
His shoes were toasted. Which GT?
You'll have survival training, all that, or no? Training, FTX.
Not